Yeah. We get lit, we get fly, we get drunk, we get high. But to the masses, we a podcast called Verified. I'm your host. I am JopauL. Make sure you check us out at the verifiedpodcast.com. We have a very special guest right now. We got K Goddess, and Goddess, she is. Goddess, you are. And don't let the good looks fool you. She is gangster. How do I know? She G-checked me. Because had I known that she was from the Ville, I would have never tried to even try to crack a joke before I got to know her. Because you know about them Brownsville chicks, never ran, never will. They got the razor blade under the tongue, slice you real quick. But she's making headways in the music business. She is an influencer on social media. She's got a lot of things popping. She's K Goddess, aka Jackie Robber bitch, if you fucking look at her sideways. So without further ado, my homegirl, K Goddess. What up, love? How we doing?
Thank you for having me. I'm super excited.
I'm super excited to have you because I always like to keep a great rapport with everyone. And like I said in the intro, had I known you were from the Ville, I would have never even tried to make a joke. So let me apologize right now and say that I'm sorry, but I know that we're going to be the best of friends. And Brownsville was one of the old hoods I used to, hang out in. So shout out all my peoples, still on Saratoga, represent that SMG, Sex, Money, and Guns click.
Mhm.
This is how we do. So, K Goddess, how you doing this evening?
Yeah. I'm good. I'm really good. I'm excited. I'm I just been working. I'm tired. You see, I'm in bed right now. I just been working. I just been grinding. I just been trying to make all the plays fall into place and slowly but surely with staying safe, with staying with my tunnel vision, with having a plan and keeping in contact with my team and staying organized. Everything is falling into place. So I'm really excited.
That's great. That's great. And I see you hustling, and I see you grinding, and I love that you embrace one aspect of hip hop that has kind of fallen off over the years. I saw that you actually give back to your community, and part of the hip hop culture, and being gangster is being able to, succeed, with a certain level, of pride in where you came from and being able to give back to it. So I just wanted to say, I see a lot of the stuff that you're doing, and it's phenomenal. It really is. So keep on keeping on. So I can really appreciate
Mhm.
that. And being that we are still in a pandemic, let me first ask you, how are you doing? How are you managing? How are you holding up? How are you and your family? Because I know it's a very tough time, to be isolated like this. And I know how hard you grind. We can't be out in the
Mhm.
clubs because they're closed unless we're out of New York. We can't get our walkthrough money, our appearance money, and all of that. So how are you holding up? How are you managing?
Um, I'm very transparent when it comes to things when people ask me questions. So I would say I have my days, I have my good days, I have my bad days. The good outweighs the bad. Um, you know, it's it's a money making year right now. The government is giving so much money away. There's so many hustles. Everybody and their mother's hustling right now because everybody see like, oh my God, this world might come to an end, and nobody want to die broke. You know what I'm saying?
That's a
So
fact.
everybody got the mind state of if the world come to an end, we all got to figure out how we gonna have enough money to make it on the bunkers and to make it on a ship if they decide to go to Mars or something. So you gotta have money to make it on them ships. Only the rich people is first come, first serve. So, we all grind and we all maintain, and it's hard, especially with being an independent artist. But I definitely feel like the route that I'm going, people are waking up, people are seeing me, and people are definitely starting to get K Goddess on their radar. And it feels good because my name is speaking a very positive light right now, and I love it.
Yeah, I do see that. So Brooklyn, stand the fuck up and support the goddess. You heard? So I want to, get into, our story. I mean, your story, with regards to, how you came into music and all things like that. First, let me start by saying, thank you for, taking your time out to be on the Verified podcast. We are one of the most exclusive platforms that only interviews verified artists, and verified you are. So talk to me about the young K Goddess before K Goddess was K Goddess. I feel like, I mean, I'm just going to go out on a limb. Did you get your name because you were bossing like, your man's around and he was like, K Goddess, okay, Goddess, K Goddess.
Now,
Oh, intruder alert.
Somebody at my door. You hear, right?
You want to pause it real fast?
No.
Oh, okay.
I got my name in general. Like, you know, I used to hang around some friends and his name was like Agar. So in general, I got my name. Oh. It's junky as hell. My room. Well, I'm on an interview, so you gotta be quiet. But I got my name. You hear me, right? Look, see, life at work never stops.
Listen, the grind continues. Nipsey said it best. You know, the marathon continues. It never stops.
Get out. That's a fact. I got my name just by having a friend. His name was Agar, and he called me K Goddess. And at first he was like, you know, change your name to K Guard. And I was like, nah, because niggas is gonna think I'm your girl. They gonna, you know how people are. They're gonna think funny stuff. So I'm not calling myself Agar, but I call myself K Goddess. And you know what I'm saying? It was funny or whatever in the beginning, but then I really started sticking to it. I started standing on it. And then after a while, slowly but surely, everybody was calling me K Goddess. Everybody was like, yo, you really like a boss chick. You always move like a boss. You've always been a boss. So it was never a time or point to where people was like, I'm not calling you K Goddess. Your name is People organically just, people in the hood, K Goddess. People here, K Goddess. I never had a point in my life to where people was like, I'm not calling you that. You know what I'm saying? So it just stuck. I guess, you know, real recognize real. And when you name yourself something, people tend to call you something if they see you making an initiative to keep that name going.
That's a fact. See, I was under a different name I've been in the music game since 1996. And I was in a, you know, hardcore rap group back in the day with, you know, a bunch of my Brownsville buddies. Shout to Smooth, shout to Trig. But my name was Lyric. And so they still call me Lyric to this day. It's like, even, you know, like people that like the JopauL name hasn't really, you know, kicked in, you know, to them. So it's like I had Smooth on my podcast recently, Smooth the Hustler, one of, you know, the Brownsville bully. I had Capone on there, and we did like a surprise pop-in with Smooth. And when he came in, he was like, Lyric the Enforcer. So they don't even call me JopauL. So, you know, so I can respect that, you know, that, you know, your name's been K Goddess, you know, from the jump, you know, and you stand on that. But I want to get into like your early story. Talk to me about the little girl, you know, growing up. Were you born in Brownsville, Brooklyn?
Yes. I was born in Brookdale Hospital. Raised in Brownsville, Brooklyn from a little girl always. My family is from Brownsville. You know, my
how many generations are from Brownsville?
My great grandmother started it.
Really? I gotta find I don't know if you froze.
My great grandmother started it. Yeah, my great grandmother started it. So that's what, 3 generations? My great grandmother started it, but my great grandmother's husband, which is my grandmother's father, he's from Brownsville. So his generations go back. You know what I'm saying?
He might have known my grandfather, because my grandfather grew up in Brownsville.
Yeah, and then I had an uncle that used to, you know, ride bikes and go to the what's that? I forgot what they got. It's in Brownsville. I forgot the name. It's like it's for recovery addicts, but it's for addicts that
the rehab center.
Yeah, because they can't survive without the drug.
Oh, the methadone clinic.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So generations, the type of generations, my great grandfather, his side of the family, like the men in my family, it's been years, generations after generations. But my great grandmother started for the woman. She had my grandmother had my mother had me. I'm gonna have my kids, and respectfully, they're gonna be in Brownsville sometimes.
Okay, so, there you go. So a whole family, and never ran, never will, from
never
Brownsville.
ran, never will. Yes.
Okay, respect. So talk to me about little K Goddess. You know, like, did you fall in love with hip hop immediately, or did you like all types of genres of music? Like, what, like, for instance, like, what did your parents do for a living?
My mother was a rapper.
Okay.
Yeah, my mother was a rapper. She was a rapper back in her day. I've been in love with music in general. Like, my favorite group is the Temptations. My grandmother raised me. So I'm really big on like old school music, old school style of music, jazz, blues, uncles. And then I was raised in the 90s era. Like I was raised in the crack era. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it was a lot of crack going on, a lot of dope being sold, slain. And, you know, I had my uncles, you know, God rest some of their souls, that was doing that. You know what I'm saying? So I was in a household where I was used to a lot of money coming in. I was used to seeing my uncles put money under the mattress and have guns. And I was around certain things. And then my grandmother made sure in her household, she tried to hide those things from me. But little did she know, my uncles would bring it in and hide it. And I see it. And they be like, because they used to call me Kiki. Kiki, don't tell grandma. Like, I got you this little $100 if you don't tell grandma. So I started hustling at a young age. Like, you know what I'm saying? So like the older I got, I'm like, well, I won't say nothing if you give me $100. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I was one of those kids. My uncles, my older cousins, they was always transparent with me because I've always been a tomboy. I was one of those little girls that my grandmother used to tell me, you're gonna want to wear dresses when you grow up. Don't be climbing trees and keep fighting and riding bikes and doing those extra stuff without knee pads. Like you're gonna want to wear dresses. I used to be like, wear a dress. I'm never gonna want to wear a dress, grandma. Like you must not know who I am. And now that I'm grown, I'm glad that I had the hood side of me and the street smarts that I have, but I'm also glad that I had a grandmother that was also still ladylike and still wanted to show me the female side of things, because if it wasn't for my grandmother, I wouldn't have the good soul that I have. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like the streets would have just swallowed me up all the way. You know what I'm saying? Because my uncles, yeah, they have their soft sides or whatever the case may be, but they street niggas. So they not really, they big on tough love. You know what I'm saying? My uncles would tell me they love me just by pushing my head, like, love you, big head. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's tough love. It's not nothing for the weak, you know, but as I got older, I started having to teach myself how to love, because I'm so used to tough love that I'll be like, fuck you, nigga. And that's me saying I love you, but he don't know how to read it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, growing up in Brownsville, it was beautiful. Like I said, my grandmother told me how to love, but I saw both sides. My grandmother made sure as a little girl, she would always take me on cruises every year for my birthday. So she would always tell me, she'll always tell me, like, I want you to see something different. And longly but surely, I started finding out little by little that my grandmother taught me the way she taught me, or she helped me see a different part of life rather than just always Brownsville sometimes, because my grandmother was addicted to drugs. You know, she never used to shoot up. She used to sniff because she's scared of needles. Like, you know what I'm saying? My grandmother have a past the same way everybody else, mothers and grandmothers have a past. So I had to learn that side of my grandmother, because I never knew that side of her. When I met my grandmother, she was a recovering addict, been clean for years. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see that side of her. My mother saw that side of her. Her kids saw that side of her. You know what I'm saying? So as I start dissecting my family and trying to understand why is my family so dysfunctional, I had to learn everybody have their own stories. But at the end of the day, we still try to be family. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what life is about. And that's what this music industry is about. It's very fake. It's a lot of things that you can't speak of to the public eye. It's a lot of things you have to hold down. It's a lot of things you have to learn how to maneuver in this industry, but that comes with learning how you're raised in a dysfunctional family. You can't speak on certain things. You can't judge people on certain things, but you still have to know, like, that's still family. You still have to love them. In this business, you still have to know you can't speak on certain things. You can't move a certain way with certain things, but you have to know that this is a business. And in order for you to not get blackballed, your ass better play the fucking game.
So you had great practice growing up. You're like, okay, listen, I know that this is wrong, but I'm gonna shut my mouth right now because I shouldn't speak, because then this or this will not happen. Exactly, in the music game.
Right.
This shit that happens all the time like that.
Right. But then you also learn as a human that it's not even just about that. It's about when certain personal stuff happens in your life, you want certain people to shut the fuck up and play their game. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's a cycle, and you just have to learn certain things. And you just have to learn that you have to be made and you have to be built for certain things. If you're not tough, if you're not mentally there, you're not going to be built for this lifestyle. So I think you should just give up. Because this is a lifestyle.
I tell, now I mentor a lot of artists, and I do consulting for them, like a lot of up and comers. And what I say to them is, until your passion runs out with this music shit, you give it all you got, because
Yep.
if it was easy, then everyone would do it. Okay. Just
Yep.
because you released a song on SoundCloud and you put a little bullshit video on YouTube does not mean you're going to go viral. And even if you go viral, what are you going to do with that? It's all about content
Right.
and actually having something of substance, to actually sell to the people. Like, I mean, like, besides, like, your amazing looks. So I'm gonna thank your mama, and your family for giving you your good looks. You got personality, plus you got great music. So in learning about you, it's like I knew about you, already, previously from my editor who actually edits my podcast. She works with Benji Films, and she's the one who first told me about you. And I was like, oh, okay, Brooklyn girl. I was like, we got another possible, hit maker, and I'm trying to support however we can, because DJs are not breaking the artists like they used to. So now it's about getting your story out there, so people are like, if they fuck with you, they gonna fuck with you. So how are they gonna fuck with you? They gotta learn your story. They gotta learn who you are. They gotta be able to establish some common ground, relate to some of the struggles that you've gone through, and relate to like your journey. And once they see that real person, that you're a real person, inside this, beautiful, female rap, physique, they're like, oh, she a cool ass bitch. So that's one thing that I saw about you in doing research is like, you do have a tough appearance, but you got such a witty, kind of charming personality, about you. So it's like, it's very likable. So whatever you're doing, just keep doing it, and shout out to your peoples, for keeping you exactly the way you are. Oh, shout out my girl V Henny, because that's the home girl. You know what the V, right? You know what the V stands for?
Yes.
I love that girl. There you go. So now, were you into like the arts when you were like in school, like as a kid? Did you like to be on stage, like, or anything like that? So talk to me about, how you came up. Like, give me like the junior high school K Goddess. Like paint that picture.
K Goddess. I was into a lot because I know how to draw. I'm like a triple threat, but more. I'm like a quadruple threat. Not even triple, like a quadruple threat. I was into drawing. I was into dancing. I was into basketball. I was into not even just basketball. I was into sports in general. Drawing, dancing, sports. I was into music. I do it all. I was into politics. I was into really like being a philanthropist and trying to help people out, because at the end of the day, in my junior high school years, there was a lot of beef. Like, I've been around beef my whole life. So we used to have to stay away from certain type of people and things like that. So from young, I learned how to maneuver in this game, and I learned how to pay attention for certain signs. You get me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening very attentively.
I didn't know if it was like it. So growing up, was the beginning stages of K Goddess becoming K Goddess. I was very likable. I was still like how I am now, just a little more loud, a little more crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I had to learn, like, when you do some dumb stuff, you got to say in your brain, like, shut up. Like, you doing to it. Shut up, calm down.
Many of times I've been in that same predicament.
Right. I was one of those students. Like, I was the class clown. Like, the teacher couldn't get me to shut up for nothing. I was always getting kicked out. I was fighting a lot. That's one thing about me. I was fighting a lot in junior high school. And I didn't have anything to lose when I was young. You know what I'm saying? Even though I had a family that loved me, I joined the gang at a young age. So I had the gang that loved me. But I really felt like I didn't have anything to lose. So I didn't care. A lot of people around me at a young age, junior high school, was dying. So I didn't really care. I didn't care for anything. I was running away a lot. Especially once I hit adolescence, so it became a point to where it's like I had to make a change. I felt like I wanted to make a change. There was a lot of things going around. Remember, I was the youngest one hanging around the older kids. So at my age, I'm probably like 12, 13. The other kids is like 16, 17. They older than me. You know what I'm saying? Everybody doing different things that I'm doing at my age.
You're a little young buck,
so, yeah.
A young buck with an attitude, like, I don't give a fuck. So we've been there. We all been there.
Yes. So music really helped me. It helped build the foundation. It helped keep me focused, because around those days, music used to teach me. I didn't even know at that young age I was fighting depression. I didn't know that. I was young. You know what I'm saying? I used to just think, let me listen to some music. But I was fighting depression. I used to listen to certain parts of songs that Biggie would rap about, and he would rap about doing this or doing that. And I remember being outside and I see one of my uncles getting arrested or something happened to them or things like that. You know what I'm saying? So I would listen to these lyrics and I would cry, not even knowing at a young age I'm going through depression. I'm going through pre-PTSD or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
that's it. That's exactly how I felt when I listen to Everyday Struggle. Like as soon as I hear that, dun, 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 as soon as I hear those chords, I'm like I'll just start tearing because it's like it touches like a certain place. I feel. I mean, like most music artists, it's like I feel music in a completely different way than regular people. So it's like I could like it like hits the soul when I hear it. Like especially when it's like I know how it feel to wake up fucked up, pockets broke as hell, another rock to sell. It's Yo, it's real. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I never sold rock. You know what I'm saying? But I sold everything else. I passed the statute of limitations, so I could talk about it. So it's okay. Now I'm a podcaster. Okay, keep it clear. If any feds are listening, I'm a good wholesome white Jewish boy. Leave me alone. we're talking about K Goddess right now. She's the one. She's the one who's about to blow up these streets right now. And I'm not talking about grenades. I'm talking about with some music shit. So how did you get through? How'd you get through the depression, or did you not even?
So thank God you
came. I got you. I see.
Huh?
I said so. So what helped you like get through that depression? Or did you not even realize you were going through it and music kind of
I didn't realize I was going through that. I just started realizing probably about 2 years ago that I suffer from depression. And I noticed that on my own. I self-diagnosed myself with depression. I was like, listen, you sweet, because I was like, something ain't right. You waking up, you got an attitude, you sad, you angry, you this, you that. Nobody could change your mood. It get worse. So I self-diagnosed myself with depression. And then I ended up speaking to my grandmother and I told her, I was like, yo, I be going through depression a lot, like really, 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 really bad. Like, and she was like, you didn't know like all the women in the family suffer from depression. And I was like, no, y'all have me over here thinking I'm going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Right. So
damn. Your grandmother was able to like recognize that, and I'm sure that now did that alleviate some of the concern that you had? Like, okay, like this is what everyone else in the family has gone through. Okay.
Yeah, it definitely did. It definitely did, and it allowed me to have more patience with myself. It allowed me to say, okay, this is because it's a sickness. No matter what people want to say, mental health is a sickness. So it allows you to have patience with yourself. It allows you to think before certain actions, because if you've been in depression before, and if you've been in depression really, really bad, you scared of that side of yourself. So you don't want to even allow yourself to get there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because don't know
this conversation is this conversation is very triggering right now. Because like
I'm feeling
all of these, like when I used to wake up, look in the mirror and be like, you fucking asshole, I fucking hate you. And then like almost go to like punch the mirror. It's like, and then walk outside and you got
people don't know. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? And then they don't know how you feel when it's certain people that used to help you speak of certain things that's on your mind and they dead and gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, then you start thinking about that. And then it goes, so it just leads on and on and on and on. But people don't understand that. And people don't understand as a boss, as an entrepreneur, in order for you to get up out of that dirt, up out of that mud, up out of that dirty feeling, you have to keep yourself busy. If you're not going to get help, if you don't have the financial stability to go and talk to a therapist or to do what you have to do, you have to keep yourself busy. You have to find out what makes you happy and fall in love with it. Like right now, all I'm doing, I'm traveling. I'm going on tour. My team keep me busy. I need to be outside. Every time I'm in the studio, I feel like I make a hit to a song, give me interviews, get me booked. I need to be busy, because if I don't, I feel like I'm not gonna be what I'm meant to be. And I refuse to let something take over. And I refuse to let it's to the point where now I don't even allow people in my life no more if they're not bringing me happiness. If they bad for my mental health, you gotta go, cut you off. I might deal with the little emotions here and there, but it's life. I get over it. I move forward. I fall in love with more people. I travel the world. You know what I'm saying? I don't have time no more, because at the end of the day, we're all in competition with ourselves. We're all
Exactly.
in competition with each other as well. And you have to look at yourself in the mirror. You have to self-realize that at the end of the day, I'm not allowing nobody to pass me. I'm not allowing nobody to take my spot. I'm going to do what I have to do by any means necessary. And you test yourself. And I came to a point where I'm just like, I wrote down what I wanted. And I said to myself, like, you're going to go your hardest you ever went. And we're going to see how far you could get. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes to a time of point to where you like, okay, I have connections. Okay, I know people. Okay, I'm doing the music, but what's missing? And when you ask yourself that what's missing, and it boils down to the footwork. I'm doing everything I need to do on social media. I'm doing the videos. I'm doing everything. Now it's time to travel. It's time to put every motion in play. Any idea I ever had, it's time to put it in play. If I don't know how to put it in play, it's time to network and meet people that could teach me how to put it in play and not belittle me. You know what I'm saying? It's time to protect yourself. It's time to make sure that no matter who you meet, you make sure that you protect yourself on paperwork or whatever way you have to protect yourself, just in case shit do go left. It's time to start preparing for the good and the bad, not just the bad, because I was one of those people, I would only prepare for the worst. And I realized only preparing for the worst allow the worst to only attract you.
Hey,
You know
listen,
what I'm saying?
I
If
always
you
say,
prepare for the good.
there you go. Well, I always say that failing to prepare is preparing to fail. And if you don't prepare for the inevitable,
Right.
then you might get impaled. So, you know,
Right.
it's a slippery slope, but it's like, as long as you have the mental mind state that, listen, inevitables are going to come up and variables are going to be thrown in the way, but nothing that's ever worth it is going to be easy, and mistakes are just as essential as the right moves, because, and I say this on every podcast, which is a great time to bring it up, to ever regret a decision made in the past is to not fully appreciate who you are today. So in consequence, you might have made the wrong move or thought you made the right move, but if you appreciate yourself today, that was essential to get you to where you need to be. So sometimes the mistake is just as valuable, because it's a lesson to be learned, and then you can move forward from that, and you
Just
could
can't
teach one.
repeat them. Yeah,
Right.
just don't
Yeah.
repeat them. And
Yeah.
that's a lot of our problems. A lot
I
of our
gotta
problems
learn to do that with women, because like I keep repeating the same cycle, and keep getting my heart broke. So I gotta do something different,
See
But
what I'm saying?
we'll
A
see.
lot of us repeat the
But
same
I'm okay
mistakes
alone though. I'm okay
and we
alone.
don't learn. You know where that come from? That come from that we grown now and we don't get ass whoopers no more. Because if every time we did something, we was getting an ass whooping, trust and believe we wouldn't be doing that shit no more.
That's a fact.
Regard whoop our ass with consequences. And sometimes the consequences happen so late you won't even know what he's trying to teach you. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, karma is a motherfucker, and she peeks her ugly head out every time I do some dumb shit. So it's like I try to think before I do my actions now. So, so talk to me about like how you came into like realizing that you had a pen. I mean, I assume you wrote poetry because I saw it.
I thought you said a pimp. I said a pimp.
Oh, listen, listen. You can run a stable. I'm sure. Listen. You got the perfect name for it. K-Goddess. Yeah, make sure they got the nerve for the motherfucking curve. Do some strange for a little bit of change and pay K-Goddess, because that's the thing.
I am the pimp. We don't get pimped.
There you go. Exactly. I tell everyone, pimp the game. Don't let the game pimp you. I mean, I used to hang out with a whole bunch of pimps, so it's like their lingo is always like swimming in my head. Yeah. So I was saying, so when did you realize that you had like a nice pen, like you were nice with the lyrics?
Okay, when I first came to the realization that I could rap, that's what I'm saying. My story is so crazy because I could tell you a million times how, like I said, my mother was a rapper. I could tell you a million times how many times in different ages of my life I didn't rap, I didn't try to sing, but I never noticed that could be a part of my future. Never. I swear. I was always focused on other things. I really realized that I was meant to rap on my pen work. I had this rap to Remy Ma song, that whatever. No, it was
Okay.
conceited. And I would have rapped to it, and I said something like something. I'm gonna be on the 10 drinking on the beach drinking margaritas. I said something, and my uncle was in the room with me, and he was like, "Oh, like I would never forget that moment." He recorded me. We put it on Facebook, but I was so young. I was young. I was really young. I had to be about, I don't know, 13. Like I was so young, and probably even younger. And that's the moment that I first realized, because then after that, I would take my little headphones, go sit on the couch, listen to 50 Cent, Give It Your Die Trying instrumentals, Biggie instrumentals. But I never that this is what I wanted to do. We had rappers in the hood that used to drop music. I would go to the studio with them, joke around like I used to rap. Growing up, we would always joke around, had the little ciphers, like, yo, spit something real quick, go around a circle. Like, we always had those moments, but I never paid it any attention. So when I got to college, I started working on music a little bit more than usual when I was in college.
Yeah, and
because
to all my viewers
it was a change.
Yeah, I just wanted to explain to my viewers, college, she means actually college. Sometimes people refer to college as going to prison. She went to actual college. So get it straight. Continue.
Yes, I went to actual college. And, this was right after an indictment that happened. So it was time. I felt like it was time for me to change my life, and I started playing basketball. So I went to college for basketball. When I went to college, it was a change of environment. It was something that I wasn't used to. I was always on point or trying to keep my guard up, in school. So I used to write music a lot, because I was dealing with a lot of emotions. I wasn't one of those students that went to college like, hey, because I'm book smart and it's lit. I went to college just for basketball. Like, okay, I gotta study some classes just to play ball. All right, whatever. And I'm playing ball to stay out the hood. All right, whatever. I was one of those students. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't a happy student to be in college. I wasn't like, yo, I'm going to these college parties to turn up. That wasn't me. You know what I'm saying? It was like, yo, I'm here to play ball. I'm gonna make sure I don't fuck nothing up so I can stay here to play ball. And that was my main objective. So when I was in school, I used to write rhymes. My individuals, my peers, they try to get me to do the talent show. I was like, nah, I ain't doing no talent show or whatever. And turned it down. I ended up leaving school because I needed money. You know what I'm saying? I used to like finesse niggas, whatever, but I needed bread, my own breeze.
Yeah, and ain't no shame.
I started bartending as a bartender.
If they stupid enough to give it up, take it. Shit. They know what time it is, and well, at least you do, because you got their watch.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm dead. So boom. I ended up bartending. So I would commute back and forth from school every weekend. I would come bartend, whatever, whatever, make my bread. And it came to a point where I ended up just leaving school, finishing online, went full turn into the strip club with making money.
Oh, so you were like, full blown. You were a star tender. You weren't just a bartender. You were a star tender because
I was I was a star tender.
Looking the way you look, you couldn't just be a regular bartender. Like you have the star tender quality.
But that's how it starts off though. But you start off regular. I started making bread, and I everything I said I wanted to do.
Those strippers were probably mad as hell because you know that you were probably much hotter than all of them. They were definitely hating.
But you know what it is? They was, but you know what it is? The broke ones that didn't understand how the strip club operate was the mad ones. Because if you understand how the strip club operate, especially in New York, the dancers is not making money without the bartenders. Because respectfully, these are all our clientele. These are all our customers, all of them. You know what I'm saying? So you want to make money, you better off being cool with me. Because that nigga ain't going to throw money unless I tell him to throw money. He going to sit there, that whole stack going to sit on his bar. It's not going to move until I tell him he can move it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? We all make our money. We all finesse. We all maneuver. And then sometimes the dancers they customers come through. They customers want to bar, whatever. And they don't want other chicks making money because, if they customer come to the club and that nigga walk around, he throwing money on all the girls, they want him to be stationary. So, hey, girl, I'll give you PC if you just let him sit at your bar and keep him entertained so he don't spend money on nobody else but just you and me. I got you. Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So it's a hustle.
a great
only people
partnership.
that was really mad was the girls that didn't know how to make money, or the girls that didn't have no clientele, the whack bitches. But I started off as a regular bartender, and then I started making money, started going to get my surgeries, doing what I had to do. And it came to a point, I entered the strip club at 17 years old. And it came to the point where I entered the strip club with having a bartending license. That whole summer, I went to bartending school. I paid for the course and everything. So it wasn't an issue. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they never asked for my ID because they saw me with a license, with a bartending license. So, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't an issue. Started making the bread, started getting my body done, do what I had to do, whatever. It came to a time, by the time I hit like 20 years old, I was tired of being in a strip club. That's like 4 years. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be 21. Like, I don't want to be in a strip club no more. I'm working with all these chicks. They like 30 years old, whatever.
I wasn't too for that.
I thought you tried to tell me pass the blood. They like 30 years old or whatever. And I felt like, damn, I don't want this to be my future. I don't want to have my kids and still be working in a strip club behind a bar. Like, this ain't what I signed up for.
You want some more. You want something more for your life, and that's very admirable.
Right. I decided to get in and get out. And I had a little bit of bread stacked up. So, you know what I'm saying? I was like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to go full-fledged into music. And ever since, I've been doing music. This upcoming summer make 4 years, and I haven't stopped, like, at all.
It sounds like when you were, transitioning from like college to, the bartender role, it sounds like the lyrics that you were writing at the time was probably like your medicine to keep you busy and like basically express your thoughts and kind of like, your therapy, so to speak. So
yeah,
I can respect that completely. Because when I first went to college, like I got my big break, like my first year, my second year into college, and I chose to drop out. Like I got I won the Teen People magazine What's Next award. I got given a performance at the Apollo Theater. So I was like, that's it. I was like, I'm on and running from there. But I was writing every day because it was it was kind of scary. It's like, yo, what am I gonna do? And as I'm going full force into music, I had to pen my thoughts down, to kind of release that stress and that tension that I was feeling, because it's a big undertaking, to do that. So so I respect that. Now, the first time you ever got into a studio, okay, walk me through that whole process. Try to be as descriptive as possible. This way, we're actually there with you.
Well, you talking about like for my own music, or
the first time you stepped into the booth, like the first time you walked into a studio to actually get into the booth and start rapping? Take us there.
The first time I walked into the studio, he didn't have a booth. He had took about order. He didn't have a booth. He just had a mic. It was in Jersey. This is when I was 20 Yayo's artist. And
we're gonna talk about that. I saw that in your discography that you were first managed in your early years by Tony Yayo. But again, continue, and then we're gonna right back.
So I was Tony Yayo's artist. I was nervous. It was this song called Dubai. It still never came out. It's a really high pitch, high tone voice, and it's like I ain't even gonna say it, but it's a high pitch, high tone voice, and it was really girly, really tipsy song, because I'm gonna send it to you. And I really like that song. Still to this day, I really like it. But it was hard, and I feel like nobody really had patience with me to try to teach me or help me in the studio. So I was only there for a few. But the first time I really enjoyed a good experience in the studio is when I was in the studio with my ex.
There we go. Now we back. You good? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Okay. I can see. Oh shit.
Oh, that was like, I mean, I'm lit right now. So that was like a roller coaster. I was just like, woo.
You was on a roller coaster just now?
Just now.
Yeah, the first time I was like, I had a great experience in the studio. I was with my ex with On Demand. My first time like really in a booth, he had patience with me. You know what I'm saying? I cried in the booth. Like, I'm gonna be real, I cried. It was this song called Whipping Excursion. And the lyrics that I wrote to it, I wanted to say it because that's how my fan base started in the UK. And it was his idea to do the song. The lyrics that I wrote, I wanted to say it the way the accent is, the way the UK accent is. And Swift on Demand was really like trying to teach me, and I got so aggravated. I cursed him out. I cried in the booth. Like,
You're a bloody
and
wanker.
yeah,
That's exactly
no
that's
doubt.
exactly what you
That's
should
all.
have said. No, I don't even know what that means, but but shout out to everyone in UK though, because I've
But
got a
it was
couple girls out
really,
there.
it was really horrible. Like, it was horrible, but it was a good experience, you know, because it taught me that. It taught me. You can hear me?
I can hear you. You're here.
Oh, my phone dying now. It was a really good experience. Like, it taught me so many things. And after that, after I cried in the booth, I was like, nah, he could never see me cry again. It's over. The next day I went in there whipping excursion. Like, I was just like, and he was like, yeah. So that vibe is just crazy. The beat is just bumping. And he like, yeah, she meant to be a fucking rapper. Like, it was undeniable. Like, it just was untouched.
Yeah, I
And
mean, and those
that
tears,
feeling,
I mean, to tell you the truth, those tears that you were shedding in the studio. Now, music is a very, very emotional thing. And sometimes tears is an involuntary response to something that hits you close to home. So it's like subconsciously, you might not even have known the cause of those actual tears. But just like
nah,
when you,
I did. I knew what it was because I was thinking about my grandmother, you know, because around that time, that's what I found out my grandmother was diagnosed with cancer. So
oh man,
my objective was like, yo, like, I gotta do this, like, you know. So that's why. But that feeling that I got that feeling that I had that whole night, because that whole night I was so angry, I couldn't even sleep. That when I went back to the studio the next day, it was so in pocket that feeling that I had the next day, that feeling was the feel of the way I feel when I record certain stuff. And I'm like, this is the next song to put out. You know what I'm saying?
got it.
It's that feeling that I had with Jackie Barbison. It's that feeling that I had with Clownery. That feeling that I had with Actress. That feel is what reminds me of, okay, I'm putting this out next. Okay, this is the video I'm shooting right now. That feel. Because I record music all day long. And I do great ass music.
Yeah, no,
But
you have
certain
a
songs just
dope
have that
catalog.
feel.
Yeah, you have a
Yeah.
dope catalog. I mean, I listened to like I only heard a couple of songs like prior to like knowing that I was going to be interviewing you because obviously I wanted to like I saw you were on my girl Candace's show on Monday Night Movement and you had that I forgot the name of the song but that shit was a fucking bang. I even commented even after our little thing. I was like that song's fucking pretty hard. And I was like I gotta give props where props is due. And then I checked out while researching you I was watching Bad Bitch Commandments, and yo, you murked that shit.
No.
I especially love number 7 because it definitely gives an education to some of these girls out there. Okay, so make sure you keep your grass neat in case your man's trying to eat. You know what I'm saying? Because some of these guys
Yeah.
like me, we hungry.
That song, I went step by step, back and forth from 10 Crack Commandments, back and forth, step by step. I was like, okay. He said, and it's to the point to where Swift, I told him, because if you notice, the numbers is like, some numbers is longer, some numbers is shorter. Because certain things I said longer, when certain parts Biggie said something short. So each number was coming into. So I had to tell him like, yo, crop this beat right here, go right here, then bring the number over so that way it could hit and I could come in like number 5. Like it was crazy. It was amazing. Like
It's just
I love
like
that song.
basically a step-by-step booklet for you to get. I got you. I got you.
Ooh!
I got you. Listen,
So
been
you
in this
heard
game
you
for
hear it.
years.
Step
Yeah,
by
of
step
course.
booklet
Yeah,
for you to get. So haven't seen them put back or get your wig pushed back. Because number 1, never give your pussy up for free. Go make that nigga pay your fee and bitch go get your LLC. Indeed. Number 2, never
see,
cop the plea. If I said
and
the
she's
shit, I said it. Who
motivating
the
you.
fuck gonna
She's
check
telling you to
me?
get your LLC. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
Yes.
you're gonna
From
get
day
good looks,
one.
you're gonna get hard bars, and you're gonna get some advice. Shit.
Yes. Since
Yo,
day
you are
one.
quadruple threat right there. So
I'm telling you.
so when did you start getting the like respect from like actually you know what, this is a good time to like how'd you meet Tony Yayo and how did he come to being like part of your management team at the time? Let's go to that story because that
I
sounds like a
met
good one.
Tony Yayo. I met Tony Yayo through 50 Cent.
How'd you meet
I
50
always
Cent?
knew 50. I always knew 50, but me and Fifth really built a relationship when he had part ownership of Lust. We used to be
Okay.
around him a lot. We used to always take pictures with him. And Fifth always showed me so much respect. Like always. Like I know people see the crazy side of him and how he act towards women that owe him money and stuff like that. But Fifth always showed me so much respect. Like I could be on one side of the club, he could be on the other side of the club. He'll look at me, he'd be like, "You good, Kay?" And I'm like, "I'm good." And he'd be like, you know what I'm saying? Like Fifth always nothing but respect.
That's what's up.
So I met him through Yayo because Yayo had ended up coming to us one night. And then me and Yayo organically just started talking every time, whatever. We had mutual friends. So whenever he'll call his friends, I would be with his friends, you know what I'm saying? And Yayo was the person that actually put the idea in my head of, you have bars, you have the look, you need to take rap serious. Because I knew I was tired of working in the strip club. I knew that I was tired of having to flirt with niggas. I keep customers. I know I was tired of it, but I just didn't know what I wanted to do. I didn't have a plan. You know, I never had a plan. I always found something that I liked and I stuck towards it. Because my thing is, if I'm going to do something, I'm going to go hard no matter what I do. So I never had a plan. My plan was always get my grandmother out the hood, make sure I set a foundation for my family, make sure I break generational curses. I didn't know how I was going to do it, but I knew whatever came into my path, if God placed it there, I'm going to do it and I'm going to go hard doing it and make sure I always network. That's something that always helped me always networking. That's why I know so many celebrities now, so many NBA players, so many NFL players, like, because I've always networked. Like when I was playing basketball, I always dated the top ranking basketball player. Like, you know what I'm saying? I always was at games and always traveling to all-star games and always on a bus. So I always knew people. I always knew people at D1 schools. I always knew people. I got overseas. Like I always knew people. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
yeah, like I said in the beginning, you're super likable. Like you have, like, once somebody gets to know you, you know, it's like tell me something bad about K Goddess. Yeah, you really can't. I mean, and listen, I respect, you know, that, you know, you have a personality and you have a story to tell besides just being, you know, looks and good music. So it's like, so you have everything, you know, to embody that next superstar. So without putting too much pressure on you, we're looking for you to do some big things for New York. So make sure you fucking do it. So
I will.
That's all I got to say about that.
I'm gonna make New York proud. I'm gonna make New York proud. I'm gonna die trying to make New York proud. That's a fact.
And anything that I could do to help out, you know, in any way, like, I mean, like, just consider me part of the team that you don't got to pay, you know? So, I mean, I don't want nothing. So if there's a lane that I can open up, there's somebody I can talk to for you, if there's something that I can set up, you know, I'll be more than happy to do so.
Yes, let's do it. Definitely. You know, V Henny is my girl. That's part of my management team. So hell yeah, we in contact. Everything we do, she's definitely gonna reach out. Cause I'm verified, you verified, we verified in real life. Bow.
That's right. We verify and verified. And you on the Verified podcast. So
you swear you got so much swag. We verified.
I mean, you know what it is? I hung out with them Brownsville dudes for mad long and a bunch of pimps. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot when you're a white Jewish boy standing on the corner of Saratoga Ave. You know, you see a lot of shit. You know, so and you know, no fault to them, they exposed me to a lot of shit. And being from Staten Island, I've seen my fair shit. You know, all over the place. So it's like it, you know, just as, you know, just as hard as it is for a female to be taken seriously in a male dominated industry like rap, it was equally as hard in like the late 90s, early 2000s for a white Jewish MC from Staten Island that's not affiliated with Wu-Tang to be accepted by the hip hop community. And it just so happened, you know, I kicked, you know, when I met, you know, Ice, Smooth, and Trig, it was just like, I don't want to say like we just clicked right away, but we clicked right away. So we were clicked right away, you know, and it was just, they heard me spit. They were like, oh, you're in. That's it. That's it. You fam now. Like, you stuck with us. I was like, all right, you know. So that, you know, so I could respect your whole story and your journey. I guess a lot of people want to know, like, what's next. I mean, I seen the Jackie Rob video, and like, I mean, besides you being a bad bitch with a bat, you know, like, the song is hard. You know, so what's the plan of attack for it?
The plan is to definitely to keep doing what I'm doing. Because, you know, I direct all of my music videos. So I'm definitely trying to cross over with being on other people's teams where helping direct their music videos as well. Because directing is something that I always wanted to get into. And I realized that I've really been taking it more serious lately. You know, I want to sit at that director's chair and I want to help out. So that's definitely one of the hats I'm trying to do. I'm working on a cookbook as well.
I heard about that. So
Yeah.
not only does she have good looks, not only does she have good bars, not only does she have a good philanthropic, I think that's the word, philanthropic, attitude towards the community. She can cook. Like one of these reality shows, like marry a quadruple threat, and get $1 billion. Like, I mean, they need to like cast you immediately for that shit. So go ahead. So you're coming out with a cookbook. You'll need to teach me because I can cook. I can cook the shit out of some waffles in a toaster. Like that, I'm great at. It's been a lonely pandemic.
It's been a lonely pandemic.
Yeah,
you should have been learning how to cook then.
I mean,
it's been so lonely. You should have been learning how to cook.
I mean, I cook the same shit I cook my egg whites, turkey bacon, and 2% cheese, every single morning on the whole wheat wrap. Yeah, I'm a boring guy. But I live by myself, so it's like I want to just get to what I gotta get. I want to eat it quick, and then I want to get to business, writing what I got to do, planning my podcast, discovering talents like K Goddess, and how great she is, and how society needs to know about her in a very, very big way. So what are we doing next?
I'm also, this is one of the adventures that just recently happened, and a network had reached out to my team. So we definitely putting this in the works right now. I'm doing a dating show.
A dating show.
A dating show. Everybody is welcome.
Tell me more because I happen to be single, so I might be a good candidate for the show as long as it's reasonable.
If you think you're a good candidate, send in your tape and then we're gonna review it. But yes, we're doing a dating show. It just kind of came to mind because I'm coming up, and people just be trying to talk to me for clout and stuff like that, and not saying that I want to jump into a relationship because I just got out of a relationship, but I do want a travel partner, a travel partner and somebody that I can have fun with, and you know what I'm saying? We could turn
someone you could turn up with that you could actually stand being around. I can see you. We're almost wrapped up. We got a couple more minutes, and then we Gucci.
I can still see you too. So bow.
So dating show.
I just want to live life. It's just I'm at that point in life to where I'm just like I'm tired of, because I've always been in relationship after relationship after relationship. Always. You know what I'm saying? And it's always been long-term relationships. You know what I'm saying? I just feel like I keep doing these long-term relationships. And yeah, I was engaged. I had a ring on my finger before, but it's time to do it the right way. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every time I date, I'm more so being a woman and just settling for a man. And I'm not, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm going to attract what I want. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna attract what I want. So now that I'm taking an initiative, I'm fixing my credit. I'm about to put down on a house. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking an initiative and I'm leveling up respectfully. I'm not settling no more. You know what I'm saying?
Up. And if you need help with fixing your credit or doing anything like that, I ran the bank, for JP Morgan, the business division for like 10 years. So I'm kind of an expert at that. So if you have any questions or anything like that, feel free to use me as a resource and say, how do I do this? How do I do that? Because,
got you.
Yeah, listen, I wear many hats just like you. I mean, I don't know how to cook, that good, but I do wear many hats that are valuable in other ways. So,
as you should. So it just came to the time point to where I'm just like, you know what? I'm just tired, and I'm not gonna, because at first I was like, yo, I don't want to date anybody. I don't want to talk to nobody. And I had so much anger in my heart. And it came to the point to where it's like, I'm tired of dealing with wounds or scars or any extra emotions. I'm going to let it go. I'm going to let it be. It was what it was. Every intention that I had was pure. I'm not proving myself no more. I'm going to move forward. I'm going to leave all that hurt and that pain, my past trauma where it's at. It's 2021. You know what I'm saying? I'm 24. I'll be 25 this year. You know what I'm saying? I want to be somebody's wife. I want to start a family. I want to start that picket fence that I've been seeing. You know what I'm saying? And it starts with me. I'm going to stop blaming men. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to attract what I want to attract. And I'm going to lay the cards on the table. If that nigga can't handle it, you got to go. Word? Because we're not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying?
As you should.
I bring something to the table. You heard?
You're a goddess.
I bring the motherfucking table.
I mean, listen, your name is K Goddess. You're a goddess, so you deserve a king that's going to compliment you, not going to, cause conflict with you.
That's a fact.
So I can appreciate that.
So respectfully, me and my spirit guides, we was like, and I was like, and we was like, okay, bow. We got to come to an agreement.
We're going to be happy. Now, listen, we're going to attract to the universe what we meant to attract. And, and I feel the same exact way because I never told this story, on, the podcast, but like in the beginning of COVID, I was always in long-term relationships and they always ended kind of drastically. And I love like real hard. Like I'm a Scorpio, so I'm a passionate kind of guy. So
when your birthday?
October 29th. When's
I'm
yours?
November 14th. I'm a Scorpio too.
There we go. We Scorpio fam now. That's it. Okay, listen, we connected. There we go. I knew it. But in the beginning of the pandemic, so a year after like a real long, complicated sort of relationships, which I'm really not going to get into on here. I hadn't trusted anyone. I was like, fuck this. I was like, I got shit popping myself. I was like, I find somebody. I was like, I play around and I do my thing, whatever. If I find somebody cool, So I gave this girl my trust. And bottom line is she just fucked me over so bad that she was like the ultimate of all ratchet girls ever. She lied and said she was pregnant. She fucking robbed my house when my father was having a heart attack. I rented a car for her because she said she was going to get an abortion, but she needed to take care of a couple of things. And all of a sudden stole my car for a couple of days. It's fucking wild, So it's like, so I know how it feels to be scorned and not want to trust a goddamn person, but you respect who you are at the end of the day. So I wish you luck on that journey of attracting what you need to attract. But send some of that. Yeah,
my friend told us something. That sounds like I did it. I do not move like that.
Oh my God. Well,
I'm crazy. I'm crazy, but I'm crazy in a good way. Oh, you talking about when I saw his car? I forgot about that.
Edit. Hold on. Cut. Hey, we don't talk about none of those crimes over here. We were talking about a dream that she was having. Because
I gave it back after. He know I took it.
Oh, okay. All right. No, that's
I took my ex-boyfriend car because something had happened. We got into a fight. Then we went to the hospital because he crazy. Like he punches walls and stuff, right? So he goes to the hospital.
I know nothing about
we
that.
We in a hospital, so we like arguing a little bit back and forth in the hospital, whatever. Then he on the bed trying to wait to get his hand x-rayed and stuff. And I popped on him while he was on the bed. We fighting in a hospital. They kicked me out of the hospital. So they was like, oh, they called the cops. So I had to leave, right? So you know what I did? I went and I took the nigga call. And I went and I hit it. And he didn't get the call for like 4 days. Like he was laid up in the bed with me. We kissing and stuff. And he like, babe.
He's like, babe, can I have my car back?
Nah, he like, babe. He like, babe, you got the keys to the car? So I'm like, yeah, I got the key, but the car's full. He said, what you mean? So mind you, I live in Queens right now, right? So he like, what you mean? I'm like, yeah, the car's in Brooklyn. He looked at me, mind you, it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. We all kissy, hugging, just finished doing it, getting our love back. So he like, what you mean a car in Brooklyn? What part of Brooklyn? So I'm like, Williamsburg. So he
shit.
What the fuck my car doing out there? He started wilding. And I was like, you see, that's why it's out there now. We just doing good. Like, why are you trying to mess it up?
Yeah, you don't need the car. Like, all you need is me, baby. Don't worry about
babe, it. Good. It's no alternate side parking over there. It's good. You're not gonna get a ticket. You're not gonna get towed. But I had to teach you a lesson. Like, at least I ain't do no damage to the car. You know what I'm saying?
Just to his brain, probably. But
he'll be fine. He'll be fine.
it'd be all right.
But
It'd be all right.
he'll be all right. You know what I'm saying?
Listen,
But
that
she
was that was a
violated.
great story though.
She ran away from you with your car. He was here loving me while his car was somewhere else. He is different. There's levels. Like I was wifey. You see, I could do shit like that, and he could chill for 4 days, not know where his car at, because he know it's good.
Yo, listen,
He don't
this
gotta
so
call the cops. No, he said when he was when we first got to it, he said, I'm gonna call the cops. I said, go ahead, call the cops. Call the cops. Go ahead. What they gonna do? I don't got it.
Hey, it's not here.
Give me my fucking car.
It wasn't me. I know how the car. There's no car around here.
Give me my fucking car. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I was like, babe, why are you yelling? Stop yelling.
He blew his top.
Oh man.
Yo, because you know what? When he came from the hospital, he must have went to where his car was parked at thinking he was gonna leave me.
You see, so let that be a lesson to everybody.
No, he has to. I got the spare key out the drawer.
Oh, you a stubborn motherfucker.
Oh, you a special kind of
no, because you know what it was? I was mad at the fact that in the middle of us fighting, because I had his keys, I had his phone. I was mad that in the middle of us fighting, my dumb ass wasn't using my brain, and I threw the keys at him.
Oh, so you already peed.
Oh man.
So when I threw the keys at him, as soon as they fell, the first thing I saw was the car key. So I was like, we fight, I'll rush home. The spare key in the drawer. I'm taking his car. Because I already knew when he get out the hospital, he gonna go to the car, he gonna try to leave. Respectfully.
Oh, you left him at the hospital. Oh my God. Damn. So listen, so let that I'm glad you told this story. So let that be a lesson to anybody when courting a woman from Brownsville. You best be on your best motherfucking behavior.
That was some Brownsville shit.
Yeah, that was some real Brownsville shit. So approach with caution.
But that was the most innocent version of Brownsville shit I've ever done. Like that's how you know I loved him, because I didn't try to harm the car.
Yeah, you didn't torture it. You know, like
I knew we was gonna get back together. So it was like, stop playing with me, because you know I'm crazy, but I ain't that crazy to where I'm gonna fuck us up, because we still need the car. You heard? So like,
we still gotta go out of town and do some shit. But
you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that was great. That was great. I almost feel like we're not gonna be able to top that. So it's almost like a perfect segue into the ending.
That story was hilarious.
That's fucking great. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you? Make sure everyone you follow wherever she tells you right now.
What's good, Josh? Your girl K motherfucking Goddess, K Goddess, K space GODDESS on all streaming platforms. Make sure you stream my music. It is amazing. K Goddess official on all social media platforms. Make sure you follow me, except Twitter. On Twitter, I am at She's the Goddess. At She's the Goddess on Twitter. K Goddess official on all other social media platforms. So make sure y'all follow me. Bow. I'm a Brooklyn bitch anyhow, because I'm from New York, where we stomp bitches out in our Timberlands.
Bow. Whoa. Damn. I don't think anyone can fucking top that. But let me say, it's been an honor and a privilege to be able to learn your story. And being a fellow New Yorker, I always champion anyone that's trying to do it, because I've been there. Like, I've literally done this for 20 years, and I know how hard the grind is. So I respect your grind, I respect your journey, I respect your hustle, and I hope that the rest of the country and the rest of the world understands your talent, and they receive it in the same way that I have. I think I'm a pretty good judge of character. So you got a dope personality, you got dope music, you got dope lyrics within that music. So there is the possibility of that blow up sort of success, and I really hope it happens for you. Yeah, we're gonna put it out into the universe, and I'm gonna say it's gonna happen. So, and I know the universe will respond in a most favorable way. So I appreciate you taking your time with me today. I like to leave you with a quote that I hope everyone applies to life. I usually end my my podcast with this. We are all just here for a small cup of coffee. Mm-hmm. I'm just trying to drink it while it's still hot. I am your boy. I am JopauL. We are the Verified Podcast. We were just chopping it up with K Goddess. We are brought to you by Radio Pushers and ResultsandNoHype.com. And we out of here. One love.
Foul.